Kings are falling every day, and kings are rising just the same.
How you feeling? I am your host, Marcos Enrique Palacios, aka Kosine. Good evening. Welcome to Kingz with Kosine, Relationships and Submission Edition. It's gonna be a live one tonight. So fellas, text your homeboys, ladies, text your homegirls, get in that group chat and say it's going down. Thank you so much for supporting last week's episode. It was our inaugural episode and we got great reviews. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. And if you're watching online, feel free to send in your questions because we will be tapping in and answering them. Now let's get active. I've been excited about this show. And for those of you who do not know, I'm in my mid-30s and I'm recently engaged. So all you young players that's out there, the game is now fair again. You're welcome. I was excited. I was nervous. I was scared. And I was hyped to propose because look, I did it right. It was her birthday. We were at her favorite restaurant, Javier's in Newport Beach. So shout out Susie, the manager there. She hooked it up. The view was crazy. The ambiance was crazy. We had the private room. And what was the name of the private room? The Marcos room. Ha! Destiny, you understand? I surprised her with a bunch of family and friends. I had Stevie Wonder's saxophone player there to serenade. His name is Lucien Lavo. And I wrote a speech because Kanye said that I got bars. I digress. So growing up in a single parent household, man, I never saw marriage up close and personal. Also in my neighborhood, nobody asked questions like, do you have a girlfriend? It was always, how many girlfriends do you have, player? So my guys, the homies, we were all conditioned, to have a roster, a 5-piece spicy. We looked up to local heroes like the Bishop, Don Magic Juan.
Church.
And yeah, Church. You know what I'm saying? Don't judge me for that. And look, it doesn't make it right. And I can honestly say it was a recipe for disaster. But let's keep it a beam. Most guys don't wake up every day dreaming about marriage or weddings. You know what I mean? Me, I was a habitual heartbreaker. And all that shit gets old after a while. So when I finally locked in with my fiance, I realized, wow, there's actually 24 hours in a day. Because before, I didn't even really know. I was always managing multiple personalities, juggling multiple relationships, situationships, and entanglements. Which brings us to our topic for today, relationships and submission. So let me introduce the homies. He was one of the biggest villains that we love to hate on our favorite show, Power, the author of this song right here. There's a meeting in my bed. My Nigerian butterscotch brother, Rotimi.
We are here. Butterscotch is in the building.
Yes, butterscotch. Next, we have a music monster who has written and produced everything from 112, Peaches and Cream, all the way to Justin Bieber, Usher, Chris Breezy, Sam Smith, DJ Khaled, my man's them, who I don't work with enough, my partner, Poo Bear. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Thanks for having me on.
Our next guest is an author, 2-time Grammy Award-winning producer who's produced for the likes of, I don't know, Beyonce, Drake, Eminem, Jay-Z, Kirk Franklin, Madonna. Fam, how you work with Madonna, bro? He was signed to Brother Yeezy back in the day, but most importantly, he's a father and a husband who I personally admire. This is my dog, S1.
Yo, what's good, fellas?
Yes, sir, yes, sir. Now we got my brethren repping HBCU life, Howard University, stand up. He starred as Calvin Payne in the Tyler Perry's House of Pain, also in Our Family Wedding opposite Forrest Whitaker and Regina King. But he's more than just a chocolate pretty Tony. He's also a celebrity photographer with a keen sense of style, my brethren, Lance Gross.
What up? What up? What up?
Yes,
What's up,
sir.
brothers?
Yes, sir. And last but not least, my OG. He holds it down daily in my hometown, Chi-Town, the WGCI morning show. He's the first person to put my single, aka the theme song of this show, which you just heard, Kingz, on radio. He believed in this show from day one and is now my executive producer. This is truly a full circle moment. The destined legend, Leon Rogers. What's good, brother?
Yeah, that's cool, man. How you gonna bring me last? I should have went first. You see all the shit these brothers got on their wall? S1 got plaques on the wall. Poo Bear's wall made out of liquid gold. Rotimi got every picture from Ebony magazine on his damn wall. And Lance Gross got exotic plants. I'm sure that plant is illegal in America. What is that shit in the corner, Lance? It's all types of boa constrictors in there. But you're gonna bring me last. Look at this goddamn wall back here, bro. Not back here.
Come on, fam. Come on, man. You're in good company.
Let's belittle the comic. Let's belittle the comic, though. The producers. Let's belittle the little comic.
No comic shaming. There is no comic shaming at all. Look, fellas, how we feeling tonight?
Good, bro.
Good, man. Happy to be amongst some other kings.
Amen.
Appreciate
it. Yeah, thanks.
Poo Bear, how you feeling?
Yes. I feel blessed to be alive. I feel like it's my birthday again. You know, just another day, another birthday.
Happy birthday.
I'm blessed to be a part of this conversation that I feel like is well needed. So thanks again for including me and thinking about me.
Sir. Yes, sir. Nigerian butterscotch, are you okay, brother?
Oh, I'm blessed, baby. You know I'm here, man, you know?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, well, look, we're going to run the break real quick just to get this out the way. And when we come back, we're getting into the S word. Coach, what's the S word? Submission. Submission to your man. We will be back with more Kingz with Kosine on Fox Soul.
With coronavirus still spreading, people at higher risk must take extra precautions. You're at higher risk if you are over 65 or if you have any serious underlying medical conditions like heart disease, chronic lung disease, diabetes, or if your immune system is compromised for any reason. If you're at higher risk, wash your hands frequently with soap and water for 20 seconds. Avoid touching your face. Disinfect frequently touched objects. And wash up after being in public spaces. And when it comes to social situations, less is better. Stay 6 feet or 2 arm lengths away from other people. Better still, stay home if you can. If you're sick, please stay home and away from others. And if you think you've been exposed to the virus, call your healthcare provider before going to their office. In challenging times, the choices you make are critical. Please visit coronavirus.gov for more information.
We are tired of mourning. We are tired of suffering, and we are tired of waiting. Experts predict that the Black female vote will be central to the 2020 presidential elections. The truth is in the numbers, but the voice is in you. Imagine if we use our collective voice to create a collective powerhouse. Black women have always been at the forefront of lifting our voices to vote. In this very moment, we can change the history of this nation. Let us not forget that we are our ancestors' wildest dreams. You see us, but now it's time for you to hear us. I'm Ivy Coco, your Miss Black California USA 2020. Queens are lifting our voices to vote. Join us and let's rise up.
There. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Can I tell you another one? So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it. What's Beethoven's favorite fruit? Banana. What is a boxer's favorite drink? Fruit punch.
Welcome back to Kingz with Kosine here on Fox Soul, and we're getting right into the lightning round. I need one-word answers, gentlemen, so do not be overthink Jones in this moment. Just your first instinct. Here we go. In a relationship, if one must go, which one are you letting go? The categories are friendship, sex, aka that thing, cooking, and a business partner. One must go. S1.
I would say business partner.
Rotimi.
Okay.
I mean, if we business partners, we could afford a nice chef. So I let go of cooking, man. I need a boss.
Pooh Bear.
I'm with Rotimi on that. I'm with the cooking. I'm not really. I'm off food now. I'm transforming my body so I can go without cooking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Brothers ain't gotta eat.
Interesting.
Nope.
Brother Leon.
I think this question is all wrong. You have those four there. You should eliminate them all. Why is there not a picture of Oprah with Sugar Mama on it? Because if I got Sugar Mama, I don't need none of them. And I'd like everybody to look at my 2017 award that I had.
That's child abuse to that baby.
It's not
that is child abuse. That baby arms is tired.
That's wrong.
Your arms tired? All right.
Lance, what you throwing out, man?
Well, I'm a foodie. I'm with S1. I'm gonna get rid of the business partner.
You getting rid of the okay. I'm with you on that. I'm definitely with you on that. We don't need to do no business. And you know I can't live without that thing. That thing. So all right, so let's tap in on something. And I want to start with Lance and go over to Pooh Bear, because you brothers are in happy marriages, locked in. What hooked you? Right? You saw your lady. What grabbed you and made you say, come here, girl? Lance.
Well, for me, she was attractive. It was the looks for me. You know, she caught my eye, so I had to speak.
Pooh Bear.
Honestly, mine was a tad bit different. Initially, when I first met my wife, I was putting together a girls group. So I actually wasn't in the mindset of, oh, this is somebody that I want to date. It was definitely like, this is business. I was already in another situation. But I'm gonna tell you the truth, deep down inside, when I first saw her again, like when I met her again, because I met her years ago, something deep inside said, that's who you're supposed to be with. Like I heard this little voice, and I tried to deny it for a couple of years. I denied it for a couple of years, but ultimately, you know.
Well, what was you in denial for though, Pooh Bear? What you doing? The voice told you.
Just because I wanted it to be, I wanted it to be business. Like she was in a girls group. I was writing songs. We had a record on the radios, catching on. And I just didn't want to mix the business with, you know, a relationship. And it was like one of the girls disappeared in the group, and another girl, you know what I mean? She was really just a dancer. So it kind of left the situation. Situations turn, and she kind of proved to me that it wasn't about music. And, you know, it was like, she was like, if I'm not at a certain place where I want to be at a certain age, I'm going to focus on something else. But, you know, our love just started coming up uncontrollably. We couldn't help it, but I was definitely in denial. I definitely was in denial for sure.
That's powerful. That's powerful. All right, I respect that. Moving on, I want to get into why brothers don't get married, right? Because I'm hearing that from my sisters, and I found this stat that from the U.S. Census. The U.S. Census, it said that 29% of African Americans are married, compared to 48% of all Americans. So I want to go to Rotimi and then swing over to S1 and just pose the question: why do you think that Black men don't want to get married, man?
I think, we don't see in our society, we don't see a successful marriage. We don't see enough of them. So we attribute it to being a headache. We attribute it to divorce is eventually going to happen. We attribute it to being something that doesn't really last long. And so it takes Kingz to say, you know what, let's make love cool. Let's make a marriage cool. Let's put that in the forefront instead of the thotty life. Let's say, yo, this is my woman, this is my queen. We don't do that enough. So I think people are scared of it. I think commitment is a big thing. We don't know how to just commit to one person because fear, So I think fear runs a lot of that.
That's one. You got married at 25, brother.
Yeah. I would say, I agree with Rotimi, but I would also say just a fear of commitment, man. Like males are full of ego and pride. And one thing that contributes to that is having options and our access. That's part of our pride. So being commitment is us forfeiting that access and options that we have. And a lot of men don't want to do that.
Right.
Yeah, if I'm thinking about being scared, look, man, you get scared. What about that half, man? You get married and it don't work out. She taking half, Eddie. You know what I'm saying? Then that good old child support too. And then like, what you got, Leon? You jumping in?
Let me ask you a question about that. And I know we talk about half, we joke about it and all that, but is money worth your peace of mind?
Man.
I talked to an old head that told me, he said, man, when me and my old lady, they was married for some odd time, he said, and she decided that she didn't want to be married no more, I gave her whatever she wanted to get her away from me. You know what I'm saying? Of course, all their kids was grown, that's a little bit different. But in the aspect, man, what causes peace of mind? If you miserable and stuff every day, and if you're a hustler, you're gonna build some more money. It might hurt in the beginning, but your peace of mind. I don't think nothing. I can't put a price on peace of mind.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Jeff Bezos did it. He said, "Here, take this check, move around. I'm good. I'm gonna make some more money." You know what I'm saying? But you're not gonna have me over here crazy. So
what about
he got a whole lot of money though.
Yeah.
Man.
A whole lot of money. Yeah, you got
what about social media and all this tail that's on the gram? You can't even scroll with all them options, man. Is that another reason that's holding brothers back? I think Rotimi touched on it. There's so many options, man. Sheesh.
For me personally, bro, I post a picture and I deactivate my Instagram, bro. I don't even stay on Instagram just to avoid all that.
Post it and run. Post it and just you throw the thirst trap up and just dive out the way.
I don't even see the comments. I'm like, yo, Kenny, please post this nigga. I don't do none of that, bro.
That's smart. That's smart. So check this. On our Father's Day episode, Killer Mike has something to say about relationships that lead to having multiple children living in different households. Check this out real quick.
Because I didn't take my biological father's advice, who told me, son, don't have children out of wedlock. My grandmother preached that to me. I ended up having 4 children out of wedlock. And what I didn't understand then is that what they were trying to protect me from was the hurt of not being with your child every day.
So Lance, given what you know personally about marriage and relationships, what you think about what Killer Mike is saying?
I mean, like I'm all about one woman having children with one woman. That's my lane. I don't want to have kids spread out all over the place. You know what I mean? Because I am the type of father I have to be in my child's life. So that's where I stand on that, bro. That's all I know.
Let me say this. I have a son in New York. I have a son in Miami. And it pains me every day to live like this, man. Like, to all the brothers that's watching, if you can get under the roof of your kids, you do not want to have them days where you are crying at the airport, having to say goodbye to your son and your son being like, but daddy, I want to stay, and there's nothing you can do about it. We're going to keep this conversation going. We'll be right back. Kingz with Kosine on Fox Soul.
I like sunshine.
Here we go. I play Sid Burnett. She's working as a detective with the LAPD. She's in Los Angeles, sort of under perhaps mysterious circumstances.
No more secrets. Deal. Deal.
She's partnered with Nancy McKenna.
I won the game. You did not win the game. The game played you.
We're still getting to know each other.
Lots of discovery.
We need to talk. Do you know who her dad is?
Never met him. I don't think we're close.
I love Gabrielle Union. I've always wanted to work with her. This time I get to play her dad. I wouldn't be a good father if I didn't ask you to just let this go.
You were never a good father.
There's the high drama, there's the action, there's the witty banter, there's the sort of odd couple relationship.
Who doesn't want to see that?
I hate when you're right.
Yeah, that happens.
I like sunshine.
We're back. Kingz with Kosine on Fox Soul. I got a quick comment that came in from Miss Ebony. She said, get a prenup if that's what you worried about. I think it's more about commitment. Dang, Ebony, that's how you feel? That's where your head is at with this? Damn. And I know it was spicy. I know you said that with your head turning like this when you said
all
it.
Caps.
But right. Let's get back to that Killer Mike comment about having to raise kids outside of the household. Leon, you got something to add?
I'm gonna tell you how strong of a statement that is and how truthful it is. Here is, I'm a father who I've always been in my children's life. One woman, like Lance, one woman. I didn't want kids everywhere. My 3 daughters are by Miss Nicole Rogers, who I've been married to for 18 years. But one day I asked my daughters, you know what I'm saying? I asked my daughters, I said, what grade would you give me as a father? And they looked at me and they were kind of hesitant. As I said, no, this is family talk. Let's keep it 100. They said B- C, and that hurt. And they told me, you know what they told me? They said, well, you're always working. We never see you. So imagine being a father in the household, you can fuck that up. You know what I'm saying? Being out of the household's gotta be painful. If being in the household, something as simple as you not being there because you're working all the time, makes your children feel a certain way. Imagine when they're not away from you and they're not around you all the time. So that was kind of like a dose of reality to me to start taking trips to the zoo with my kids when they mom takes them, to start going to the museums. Maybe I don't even like it, but just as a father, just them being around, they like having me around. And that just kind of gave me a sense like, man, I feel for the kids who have loving fathers, but because of situations between adults, they can't be together. So I know that's gotta be tough.
Yeah.
Man, I could tell you as a witness, it is ridiculously rough, man. Ridiculously rough. Even thinking about being afraid to commit from an economic standpoint, right? And you know, people not getting together, being married, it's hard to build wealth. You know, how can we change this narrative, Pooh Bear? You know, because I can tell you right now, well, my lady in the household, you know what I'm saying? You take that money, put it on top of my money. The way music goes, you got sometimes when you're hot, when you low. But the fact that we together, if I'm cold, I'm still not tripping because all the bills is paid. And then when I have that crazy year and that bag run all the way up, you know what I'm saying? That's almost extra. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to people out here struggling. Pooh Bear, talk about what it is, you know, from an economic standpoint, the benefits of locking in.
Really, that was another amazing, attractive thing about my wife was the fact that, like, she's such a go-getter and she worked hard for so many years, you know, doing what she was doing outside of the music, because she was in the music, but then just having a, you know, job, making a really amazing salary. It was so attractive just knowing, like, she never asked me for anything. And it was just proven to me that you know, she wasn't really dating me, you know, for stability, to be financially stable. But for me, on the flip end, you know, as far as like a marriage and actually me taking those steps to really get married, I wanted to make sure that I, you know, could be there. I was financially stable. And before I thought about having a kid, I'm like, you know, I want to make sure my kids don't go through what I went through, you know, by being hungry and being homeless and all the things we went through. I was like, all right, this is what I'm not going to do. So I'm not going to get married and committed until I'm really financially at a place where, you know, I can carve out time for my family. I can carve out time and not be like, you know what, I absolutely have to do this job in order to keep the bills on. So it, you know, her having her job for as many years as she did, and I, you know, I had her retire, you know, humbly bow out, you know, and I was like, you don't have to do that anymore. And she's a songwriter. I pulled her in, and she wrote on a couple of songs on this new Bieber album with me, and just pulled her in, you know what I mean, to my world, because she's a great songwriter and a great musician. And that allowed that even, you know, it does something to your relationship when you're able to not just make love with each other, but to actually build wealth and actually, I love that, see my wife coming up and get, you know what I mean, doing deals with ASCAP and admin deals, all that. For me is so satisfying for me, just to see my wife come up, you know.
I love, hey man, that's powerful, man. Get that bag with the wifey, man. Grow that bag with wifey, man. That's powerful, man. So look, let's take a quick pivot, right? Because I want to get into this S word, right? This spicy word, submit. Say it with me at home. Submit, okay? Because last year on the Breakfast Club, Fantasia said it. She said it. At the end of the day, I'm the neck, my man is the head. He can't make any moves without his wife, though. You know what I mean? It all works together. You have to learn how to submit. And you know I agree with this because that's also in the roadmap. What's the roadmap, Kos? The good book, the Bible, Ephesians 5:22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your husbands, unto your own husbands, as unto the Lord. Fellas, do not get hyped, relax, because Ephesians 5:25 come right back around and says, husbands, love your wife, even as Christ loved the church and gave his life for it. So S1, here's the big question. Do you guys think that a woman should submit to her husband? Or should they both like submit to each other? Where your head at on this, man?
No, absolutely. You know, per what you just said, per scripture, you know, that's the way God intended it. However, we've all heard the saying, you can't follow a parked car, you know, so in turn, like, we have to be playing our part, and we have to be in alignment with what God says in order for her to be able to follow us and submit to us. You know, so it's not a one-sided thing. We both have to be playing our parts.
Man, I echo that same thing, S1. I mean, it takes two. You know what I mean? You gotta do your part. I'm pretty much just saying what he said, but I agree with that 100%.
All right, cool. Man, that's powerful. All right, so let's go into now the double standard, right? Because entanglements is the hot topic, right? And I personally, I'm over it, you know what I'm saying? But guess what? We still in the month of August. You see what I did there? You see what I did there? You ain't said I had bars.
He'll be here all week.
And you know, just last week, watch this. Cardi and Meg dropped that WAP. They dropped that WAP on you. You know what I'm saying? And they getting hella backlash about the double standard. And I'm gonna get into a personal story because I'm thinking about men getting cheated on, right? So I think about years ago when I was in a very toxic relationship, and I had my good homie teach me how to hack into my lady's text messages. And one of the worst decisions I ever made in life. You know what I'm saying? Because I read her texting her side nigga, I guess. Do you remember that time we was in church together and I ain't had no panties on? And I immediately had to boo-boo. You know what I'm saying? I immediately had blowout diarrhea because it was like, really, fam?
Ooh.
Like, you don't even go to, you don't go to church with me. And you don't even talk spicy and dirty like that to me. So it made me make, and this is why I'm grateful to the art. I'm grateful to the art because you can put that energy into a song. I went in the booth and made a little song about it. You want to hear it? Here it go.
Told you hold on like In Vogue, but you holding on to that shower pole. This ain't VH1 and I don't play. You got me out here looking like Stevie J. I know you out here fucking. Check it out. I don't like it. See, it be different if you love it. But you just out here fucking.
So yeah, and if I'm gonna be transparent, yes, I was out here in these streets too. You know what I'm saying? You know, yeah, I was activated. You know what I mean? But on the double standard, I can tell you right now, I was not able to handle it. Rotimi, you know, help me out with this, man. Is it a double standard out in these streets, man?
I mean, two rights don't make a wrong. It is. I mean, women are just genuinely stronger than us. You know what I'm saying? They're not necessarily driven by ego and pride, you know? So like they driven by emotions and feelings and love, you know? So they'll justify for us faster than we'll justify for them, you know? And so it's not fair, but at the same time, two wrongs don't make a right. So yeah, but it definitely is a double standard.
Leon,
man,
you steady laughing at me, fam. You laughing at me.
No, because
getting crushed, bro.
This why I'm laughing, because you, Rotimi, S1, Pooh, y'all can go get in the studio and make a song. Lance can take his pain and put it into acting. What regular niggas do, huh? A lot of holes in walls around here in people's houses. Y'all can sit, you in the studio, you put all your passion out in music. S1 got Lance can really draw from his pain and make $1 million doing a scene, be up for an Oscar. What can the regular Joe do with his pain? You know, I tell you what he could do. He could walk down Torrance Avenue in Lansing at 1 o'clock in the morning on a November night in flip-flops and drawers with a full bottle of Macallan whiskey in his hand. That's what regular dudes can do. So that's why I'm laughing.
You was outside in flip-flops and drawers, man. What are you doing outside?
Yeah, somebody I know. That's all. I'm just saying. That's what happened. You out here.
All right, so let's go around the horn real quick, man. Who has been cheated on and couldn't take that pain back, man? Who else went crazy, punched the wall? Pooh Bear, I see you with your hand up. Come on, man. Let's just have a moment.
I didn't punch any walls, but I just remember when I was 19 years old, me being in love, and I was like, you know, I was committed, and my cousin, Bear Low, you know Bear, Courtney Bear, Seals, Bear, he kept telling me, he kept saying, she's a hoe. She has glitter on her chest. Any girl that wears glitter on her chest is a hoe. And I was like, no, she's not. Like, no, she's not. Like, she's not a hoe. And I went to London.
No, she not.
Disappeared. and I went to London, and she was like, I guess she was with whoever, and I'm like, she's not with her grandmother's house, and she's not at my place. But when that ruined my life, like really, it impacted, because from that point on, I didn't trust women again. Like, so it was like when I really believed in this relationship at 19, which was dumb anyway, but the fact that I got hurt, it was like, it ruined me for years and years and years and years, to where it was like, I could never really commit completely without feeling like there's a chance this girl is seeing other guys. And it never really allowed me, up until recently, to really like treat a woman fair and give her a fair chance without me saying, you know what, I already know what you're about, and it's just a matter of time. So I'm not really gonna take you seriously. And I think that's what allowed me to only be in like 3 real serious relationships in my entire life, just because I got hurt that bad when I was 19, and it just stayed with me.
Hey, Pooh Bear, but how many hit songs did that pain bring?
Right.
Oh man,
I was actually
a lot. Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
I mean, and that was the 90s. Yeah, that was
See what I'm saying?
90s.
Give me one. Yeah. Give me one, Pooh Bear. Give me one that you wrote based off of heartbreak. Give me one of them, because give me one. Give me one.
Man, from based off of heartbreak. I mean, heartbreak was beast to break up to, but I mean, if it really got into it, would be more of a I can't really, it's really nothing that came out that was completely like a smash that the world would know, but I put out a whole project called Beats to Break Up To. And it was all breakup music over break beats. You know what I'm saying? And nothing, maybe, you know what? I take that back. One record on purpose, Justin Bieber, No Pressure. It wasn't actually about me getting hurt, but it was more so me hurting my wife now and saying, you don't have to make your mind up. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to call me back right now. It's No Pressure. So that was one record that it was,
but Kosine,
flip side of it.
But Kosine,
yeah.
Kosine, regular dudes out here talking about, and I wish I never met her.
Man, at all.
We can't
even though, look, Carl Thomas wrote that hymn for us to be able to get through, not through.
See what I'm saying?
Through. You understand?
What did the dudes with nothing on their wall do?
Two comments real quick. 2 comments. We got a comment in from Jen J. She says, I agree with Fantasia, not even from a Bible standpoint, just based off principle. It just makes sense to me. Sorry, not sorry. It's a partnership, but let a man be a man. Too many women walking around with their man's jewels in their purse. Church. Damian Johnson said, facts, S1. We have to be the example of submission as we submit to God first.
Kosine, can I
Yes,
want
sir.
to go back to that real quick when we talk about submitting to your man. Me and my wife have these conversations all the time. First of all, you must be a king, like S1 said, that she can submit to. You can't lead your family into oblivion or into darkness. But an old school head told me your life is like a chessboard. And the most powerful piece on the board is the queen. She can move everywhere. She can move around. She can do everything. But the game is over when the king falls. So that queen and that king have to work together to keep that game going. You know what I'm saying? So basically, not in a bad way, but the mates have to put each other in check once in a while. Sometimes I might have to say something, and my woman might have to honor it. But then sometimes my woman can reel me in. Like I told y'all before, it's been times I'm in the car lot and I'm like, ooh, look at that jet ski, I'ma buy it. She be like, nigga, you don't even live by no water. What you want a jet ski for?
What you doing?
Do you need a jet ski? But I'm out of my mind.
What are you doing?
I'm thinking how dope this gonna look on the back of my Jeep. She like, no, you don't need that. So in the game of chess of life, queen is the most powerful. The king is the most important. And if he falls, the kingdom is over. And at the end of the day, the mates have to keep each other in check. So I always try to remember that, man.
I love that analogy, Leon.
That's beautiful, bro.
Yeah, no, that's powerful. That's powerful. I mean, you know, the roadmap, aka the good book, says that your wife is supposed to be a pillar of rest. When I think about my lady, she is my peace. Out here in LA, when I was out here doing the most, Hollywood, doing the most, you know, I wasn't even sleeping properly. It wasn't until we locked in. It's like, man, you know, it'd be 9, 10 o'clock. She like, man, come to bed. Turn the laptop off. Shut it down. Because we know we out here hustling, running around trying to save the world. Yeah. You know, with that black man pressure, your lady is supposed to be that pillar of rest. And my question is, real quick, fellas, just still thinking about that double standard. Are we giving Will Smith the MVP trophy, sticking by Jada, even though she got active? Does Will Smith get the MVP trophy for hanging in there? I don't know. I'm just asking a question. S1, Lance, what we doing? Rotimi, what we doing?
I mean, I commend them because you gotta think about this. You gotta think about every relationship is gonna have problems. Like there's not a single relationship on this planet that is not gonna be some type of setback, and you guys are gonna have disappointment and go through pain and all of these things. So I think that, and this is the difference between, you know, our grandparents. You know, you see a lot of older couples that they always, you very seldom heard of divorce, but it's because they fought through that pain together. They fought through those things. And a lot of times we think, you know, speaking of the younger generation, we think that once a problem exists, then we could just move to the next relationship and there's not gonna be any problems. But that's not realistic. You know, so we have to realize, once you realize that every single relationship has problems and it's just meant for us to come together, resolve it, and move on to the next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it Al Green that said "Let's stay together"? Was that him that sang that ever so passionately?
Was Al Green.
Absolutely.
He also got
What's up,
grits
Lance?
thrown on him too, so that's a caveat.
Hey, you
You'll
right.
say
that
anything,
part.
somebody throw some grits on your ass.
You right.
I'm thinking that had a lot to do with it.
What you got, Lance? What you got, Lance?
I really applaud Will. You know what I mean? I don't know if I could do it, but it takes a lot of strength to do what he did and sit up there and ask them questions about his woman getting ran all through. You know what I'm saying? That takes a lot.
Publicly.
But you got to realize, man, marriage is not a fairy tale. It's a job. Like you ain't gonna get muscles without going to the gym. You know what I mean? You gotta face those problems head on. And one thing about their situation getting put on blast or whatever, I'm kind of glad that people saw that, because I mean, up until that point, they were relationship goals. You know what I mean? But you got to understand that, you know, you get into a marriage, you get into a relationship, you're gonna face problems. Like it's an uphill thing. It's not just a downhill stroll, you know. And I say I applaud him because he stuck around. This was 4 years ago, whatever.
Right.
Obviously they've been doing what they need to do to put the pieces back together, and that's what you need to do constantly with a marriage.
Real talk. That's real talk. Hey, on that note, we gonna Pooh Bear, you got something real quick?
I'm sorry, real quick. Every relationship is different. Nobody likes to, like you said, the double standards come up. Jada did what she did, but we don't understand what Will Smith might have did at the same time. So that could have been a thing where, you know, they had open relationship, you know, which a lot of people, every relationship is different. So people can have open relationships without falling out. It all depends on what you are willing to put up with, and, you know, all what your deal is with your mate. So Will Smith could have did the same thing right around the same time. They said they were both spending time searching for something. So for them to talk and be open about it, I think it's amazing, and it's definitely we need to see that a lot more. Just that openness and being honest and getting that out and not hiding it. So I think it is. I commend Will Smith, but I also feel like, you know, it's two sides to every story. So
Yep. Hey, that's real right there. On that note, I'ma just say, let's stay together, Al Green. Minus the hot grits. We will be back to discuss the friendship zone in 1 second. How do you choose who goes in the friend zone, and can they ever even get out of the friend zone? We will be back with more Kingz with Kosine right here on Fox Soul.
There. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Can I tell you another one? So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it. What's Beethoven's favorite fruit? Banana. What is a boxer's favorite drink? Fruit punch.
We back. Kingz with Kosine right here on Fox Soul. Rotimi, brethren, but I got your brethren.
Yes, brother.
Can a person who's put in the friend zone ever get out of the friend zone? These ladies are wondering right now. It's quarantine, fam. It's quarantine.
You gotta understand. So, is it out of it to be a relationship, or is it out of it to be a escape? What is it? What you ask?
It's the upgrade. It's the upgrade, bro. Because it's like, you know, women that hang out in that friendship zone. You know what I'm saying? They might give you a little little nookie, a little razzle dazzle, but it's not so that
is that the friendship zone?
No.
I mean,
you get what I'm saying? It's a tricky question.
It's like the friends with benefits thing, but she really is trying to make her way up to wifey.
Okay.
She's trying to, how can, you know, who goes in, who goes out? How do you get out? Talk to me about that friend zone.
I've never been successful with like the friends with benefit turning into anything serious, because I already kind of checked in like, okay, there's something really lacking here. I'm just going to enjoy myself. We have an understanding. So I haven't personally been able to say, you know, I'm going to make you my girl. Because if I'm able to say I have 4 or 5 others that's going on, there's obviously something missing. And that probably will never change. You know what I mean? And I don't want to mislead, keeping around like, nah, I'm going to get back to you when, you know, when I finish doing it. And that's corny, and that's waste everybody's time, you know? So like, if you in the friend zone with benefits, most likely you're not getting out of that, because I already know that if somebody else can give me more, something here and here and here, what are we doing?
S1, what's up with that friend zone, man?
Well, this is S1 speaking from 1996. Not
right. Nice. That's a nice disclaimer, right? Peace. Let's keep peace in the household. Hey, Teresa. Hey, sis.
Hey, listen. Let me
right.
Too. Hold up.
Hey, Teresa. Hey, sis.
Okay.
No, but I mean, but really, that all boils down to like, it really just boils down to your interest in that individual. You know, is this something you can see? Is this someone that you can see yourself spending the rest of your life with or not? I mean, it's pretty cut and dry.
That's real talk. I mean, what you got? You got some, Leon?
Yeah, I would like pose this question to the women out there. Do you think, like Rotimi said, how many men look at a woman that's okay with just knocking them down as wifey, as potential wifey? Do ladies think that will actually reel a man in? Knowing how we cut and how we shape, like, you know, I mean, I think some women that I have done dumb shit with in my past, you know what I'm saying, were they cool for the moment? Was they the homies? Yes, they were. Could I see myself replacing what I have with them? Absolutely not. Because I'm like, would that happen again? But this time, I'm not the friend that's receiving the benefits. Somebody else is. You know, like, I pose that question to women. Is it, you know, y'all always say we dogs, we easy to lure out the doghouse with a nice little juicy steak. But if y'all cut so different, why would we want to accept you, and we know we could just knock down whenever we can knock down and take you go eat once in a while?
That's a bar.
Give you the card, fashion over, let you go.
Larry, let me throw this comment in here real quick. Jen J says that the friend zone is just a red shirt freshman. Okay. Once the star quarterback gets drafted, women pick their next victim for the friend zone. Sheesh. All right, Jen J, you letting out real secrets out here today. Okay. All right, so let me let's finish on a high note and get real spicy with it. What's the wildest, craziest thing that you've ever done in a relationship? I got mines ready, so if y'all brothers need to think, I don't mind going out there first. The wildest, craziest thing you've done. I'm gonna kick it off. I don't care. I set up an awkward threesome. Okay. The women didn't know. The women didn't know that it was about to go down, but we had discussed it individually. So one came over, she thought it was, you know, how it was gonna go down, but then the doorbell rang and another one walked in and she said, now, what the hell is this? And I said, wait, everybody relax. Okay, because we talked about this individually. We said this could go down. And so for the first probably like 15, 20 minutes, it was an awkward threesome moment. You know, I mean, I kind of was happy about it, but they weren't. So then one of them got up, went in the other room, and I had to go back and forth from room to room, dropping off a little D here and there. And
customer service.
Both of them,
customer service. I like that.
Both of them kept saying the same thing. You better not nut with that bitch. Better not nut with that bitch. So I had the pressure on my shoulders as to who do I skeet on? Who do I skeet on?
How did they review you on Yelp? What was your Yelp score?
Sure, they probably gave me like a 4.2 out of 5. You know what I'm saying? 4.2 out of 5. You know, I had some party favors in the system that had me like the Energizer Bunny a little bit. I was active.
Pressure, bro. That's too much pressure, man.
Ro, what you got, Ro?
I'll probably say disclaimer, couple of Power season 3, 4 around that time.
When you was extra lit.
I was actually not doing what I was doing. I had a foursome.
Wow.
Yeah, I had a foursome. It was me and 3 women. And it was literally, I was talking to somebody kind of serious. Then her best friend was there and their lesbian friend that ended up joining and kind of joined.
So you brought a lesbian back over to the wow, that's called conversion.
Y'all have to understand, when I say butterscotch is a real butterscotch and jollof rice.
Jollof rice.
It's a dangerous mix, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, butterscotch.
Run, quench.
And I did the 2 squeal thing that you were telling me, Coach, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you gotta tighten up. You gotta tighten up in that thing. You gotta tighten. Tight like a tiger. Lance, come on, Lance. You a whole superstar, Lance. Don't do this.
I really don't have anything super crazy, but a lot of people are
You're lying.
They're Googling Howard right now because our vice presidential candidate, you know what I mean? But when you pull up Howard, you'll see the founder's library. On the clock tower, there's a little balcony that you'll see. So I had to knock one down on the balcony during campus hours at Howard University. So if you looked up there while you walk into your next class, you might have seen the nigga just, you know what I'm saying, going in on it.
9.5 weeks action. 9.5 weeks action.
Hey, look, on that note, we're going to take a quick break and then we're going to shut this down. This is Kingz with Kosine on Fox Soul.
Thank you.
With coronavirus still spreading, people at higher risk must take extra precautions. You're at higher risk if you are over 65 or if you have any serious underlying medical conditions like heart disease, chronic lung disease, diabetes, or if your immune system is compromised for any reason. If you're at higher risk, wash your hands frequently with soap and water for 20 seconds. Avoid touching your face. Disinfect frequently touched objects. And wash up after being in public spaces. And when it comes to social situations, less is better. Stay 6 feet or 2 arm lengths away from other people. Better still, stay home if you can. If you're sick, please stay home and away from others. And if you think you've been exposed to the virus, call your healthcare provider before going to their office. In challenging times, the choices you make are critical. Please visit coronavirus.gov for more information.
So I just want to thank all of my guests for this robust relationship conversation. Rotimi, Poo Bear, S1, Lance, and my OG, Leon Rogers. Thank you, brother, so much for stopping through tonight. There's a whole movement going on right now to protect our Black women. And if you ask me, the best way we can protect our Black women is by committing to Black women. My sister just got married, man. Congratulations to my sister Naomi. And it literally was like a handoff play, you know, from me, since my father has gone on to glory, from me straight to her husband, you know, but she always had that male headship and that covering. For the guys, you home alone right now during quarantine, this is the perfect time for you to pause and rethink commitment. You know what I mean? If you're thinking about that one that got away, call her right now and fix it, Black men. Love will make you better. You got to remember, this is life. We are about surviving right now. You fall, hurt your ankle in the shower, need somebody to help, and scream, you don't want to be in that house alone. It's a new season. Fellas, any closing words, man, as we wrap this evening up? Pooh Bear, how you feeling?
I'm feeling like I just think that people need to really pay attention to the word unconditional. And I think that it's one of those things that a lot of people use really freely and they don't really like back it up. You know what I mean? It's one thing to love somebody, but to love somebody unconditionally, that means like you know who they are, you know their flaws, you love their flaws, you accept everything about them. And I think that once that unconditional love is in place, I feel like commitment is, you know, it's easy, man. It's accepting, you know, like I'm gonna be with this person forever, which is a scary word, forever. But, you know, once you understand unconditional love, then it's just like, nah, this is my best friend. And it's like nothing you can really do to make me not want to be with you, because I love you unconditionally. So that's my last one.
I love that. S1, how you feeling?
Yeah, man. First of all, man, appreciate you for having us on the show, man. This was amazing.
Yes, sir. Yes,
super
sir.
Proud
brother.
of you. You know, I'm super proud of my brother, man. But I would, the last thing I want to just leave is just realize that relationships are, it takes a lot of hard work, and things are not going to be easy. And you just have to work through it together, man. Like you're going to have those problems. You're going to have certain things you go through, but you have to be on one accord. You have to communicate well with each other and just push through it.
There it is. Ro, how you feeling?
I think the key word I'm learning, man, is selflessness, you know, complete selflessness in relationships, you know. So I think that once you have that, once you submit to that, once both parties submit to selflessness, you can only just prosper, man, truly.
There you go. Lance.
Man, I appreciate you having us on, bro. I really think that, you know, more conversations like this need to be had, you know, especially with us Black men, because, you know, if I relate marriage to acting, this is the greatest, most important role of my life. I love it. You know what I mean? And just building a family and watching my kids grow, it's the most amazing shit that I've ever been a part of. You know what I mean?
Yes,
and I'm having fun with it. Like,
yes,
I'm really having fun with it, even though, you know, me and my wife, we might argue and, you know what I mean? But we always come back here. You know what I mean? This ring in our hand, it's a circle. So it always comes back around. You know, you might not be fucking with her for a moment, but it's going to come back to the love. You know what I mean? It's a constant circle. So, yeah, man.
I love that. I love that. Leon, close us out. 30 seconds.
First of all, I want to say thanks to everybody that came on the show. Great Black minds, great Black brothers. Kosine, you know I love you, bro. I want to give a special shout out to Tyler Craig, rest in peace, from Atlanta, comedian friend of mine, passed over the past week, and I love you. For me, it's about teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work. Find your Scottie Pippen if you Jordan. Find your Kobe Bryant if you Shaquille O'Neal. Let's stop being independent in relationships and be interdependent. We need each other, man. And without each other, once again, the game is over and the game is lost. And I appreciate y'all for having me on this platform. And Kosine, I appreciate you for being a brilliant mind. Viva la Panama!
Viva Panama! Oye, eso, Panama! This has been Kingz with Kosine on Fox Soul. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys next week. Peace and love. Peace and love.